Hello, brothers and sisters. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Harry Kelber. I'm the editor of The Labor Educator. That's an internet newsletter that I publish. But I want to give you something very special in the way of news. In about 2 or 3 weeks, I shall be 95 years old. Now that's pretty good, I would say, for a guy who's 95 and it turns out 3 columns a week and has never missed a column. So you may wonder, what the hell is this guy doing in the labor movement? Why is he spending time worrying about union democracy and worker rights and all that? He should be relaxing, he should be traveling, working on his hobbies, enjoying himself. These are his golden years, and he doesn't have too many of them. So why spend time on this? What does make Harry run? Well, I'll tell you. Not immediately, but if you'll follow my thoughts, what I say, what I do, in the next few days and weeks, you'll know me pretty well. But right now, I have something special to tell you. You see, I've decided to run for office as a candidate for the AFL-CIO Executive Council. On June 1st, I sent a registered letter to Richard Trumka, who is the Secretary-Treasurer of the AFL-CIO, and I told him that I am a candidate for the Vice President of the AFL-CIO Executive Council. There are 42 of those, by the way. And that I expected to be treated with respect and with all the rights and privileges of a candidate. By the way, I am a member of Communication Workers Local 1104, and of course I'm in good standing. Now you may well ask, well, why am I a candidate? And I will tell you, and I think you'll appreciate my answer. My candidacy is a guarantee that there will be an actual election at the AFL-CIO convention this September. It will be an election with a printed ballot and with adherence to honest election rules. I promise you that. Because in the past 3 elections, the officers have been elected and re-elected 3 times. Without opposition, without debate, and with no comments from any of the leaders as to what their plans are for the future. The election of the Executive Council members was an absolute farce. They were nominated by their supporters, their names were read off, and since there were no other candidates, they were elected by acclamation, without having to say a word in their defense, without having to debate any of the issues. Now, does that make sense? Is that the kind of executive council we want to have running our organization? I say no. And I say all of you don't want to see that happen. And we're going to prevent that from happening, I can assure you. I shall be working on 2 fronts. One, I shall encourage leaders of the State Federation of Labor and Central Labor Councils to run for office, to be candidates for the Executive Council. There are 42 members of the Executive Council. We should be able to win at least, certainly many of them, and hopefully most of them. And this is the time for them to get into the action, because the labor leadership is in crisis, and we ought to recognize that. They don't know what the hell to do. They're befuddled and they cannot come up with any ideas that make sense. They are a do-nothing, self-serving group. And they've been in office for 14 years, and they've accomplished nothing that you can remember or that I can remember. So this is an important thing that I'm going to push for members to get into the action, to become candidates. Secondly, as a candidate, I shall be able to communicate with the delegates who will be deciding this election. And it'll be very important for me to raise the issues that are of concern to working families, such as the economy, the crisis, the low wages that people have to endure, energy, education, and the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Labor leaders aren't talking about that, and we will raise those questions. And furthermore, if Congress does not pass the Employee Free Choice Act by the time of the convention, I shall conduct a special campaign to fight for the EFPC. And I want to tell you that I have some interesting actions to propose. To conduct a successful campaign, I shall need your moral and financial support. I don't have much money. I live on my Social Security check and my pension for the years I worked as a college professor. I do not own stocks, I do not own bonds, and I'm living on my dwindling savings. So I can't afford to run this campaign as much as I would like to on my own. So I'm counting on your support. If you believe in the things that I've been talking about, I think you'll want to help. And I'm relying on your support. So, if you want to help and donate, I suggest you make checks or money orders payable to the labor educator. And the address is The Labor Educator, 75 Henry Street, 14K, Brooklyn, New York, 11201. And let me repeat that. Payable to the Labor Educator, and the address is The Labor Educator, 75 Henry Street, 14K, Brooklyn, New York, 11201. And I promise you that I will keep you in touch at every stage of the campaign. So in solidarity, this is Harry Kelber.